The following is a presentation of the Missouri Sports Network.
Hello again, everybody, and welcome to Missouri Milestones, the podcast. It's season 1, episode 25. Guy Newcomb alongside Kent Mueller from Playing on Sports. It is November 6, 2025, and it's 9 o'clock in the morning here on this Thursday as we approach week 11 of high school football. And this is episode 25 of Missouri Milestones, the podcast. Hey, you want to be the smartest fan in the stands? You want to know when these podcasts are coming out, whether it be Where Are They Now Wednesdays, Missouri Milestones, the podcast, High School Game Day, D-Row and Arch, our Athletes of the Week, and our scoreboard shows. Hey, sign up and follow us on X, at Scoreboard Guy, at Playing_Sports, and at Missouri_Sports. We would really appreciate it. Go to our YouTube channel and subscribe. Go to our Facebook and give us a like, and then you'll know as much as anybody in the stands. We'll turn it over right now before we get to our interview to Kent Mueller here with Playing on Sports.
We started Missouri Milestones with 1,000-point career scoring list for both boys and girls. We now have over 1,500 boys and over 1,300 girls. And it won't be long before we have combined lists totaling more than 3,000 Missouri basketball athletes. Those lists will continue to grow as we dig out more and more of Missouri high school history, and also as we record and recognize those who will cross that threshold each season going forward. Due to the strong response of the basketball career list, we have expanded to include 3 stats for football and 5 stats for volleyball, both boys and girls. The popularity of these lists has naturally led to our podcast presentation of Missouri Milestones. In each episode, we sit down with one of these standout athletes to hear their story straight from the source, the work, the mindset, and the moments that make it happen. If you are a coach, an AD, an athlete, or a proud sports parent, this is the podcast made for you. The easiest way to see the lists as they get updated is to follow us on X. Follow Guy Newcomb at Scoreboard Guy and follow me, Kent Mueller, at Playing_Sports. By following us, you will get updated lists as they become available. Now that you are following us on X and you know how to contact us, let's get to the Missouri Milestones interview of the week. The last couple of weeks, we have heard from athletes currently in high school just after they crossed career milestones for their entry into Missouri Milestones. This week, we have not 1, not 2, but 3 members of Missouri Milestones career basketball list from the same high school, from the same family. Today, we visit Willow Springs High School, where we were fortunate to sit down with 3 of the 4 James family members to have scored 1,000 career points. You will meet Robert James, who is the current all-time leading boys scorer in Bears history. Also joining us is Megan James, a member of our girls' career scoring list. The third James is Colby, currently a senior at Willow Springs. Colby is putting the points on the scoreboard, and Robert says it's okay with him if his son surpasses his career total before season's end. Before we move on to the interview, I want to recognize the 4th James family member to be on our list. David James has had a lot to do with the James family basketball tradition. In 1963 Willow Springs grad, David was the first family member to enter our career scoring list. Missouri Milestones, the podcast, because history isn't just written, it's earned. Guy and I will be back with the Willow Springs James family right after this.
Any given Saturday. And a little work. And a little play. Hey, little help? And a truck that says no to nothing.
Hi, Dad. Can we give them a ride?
Yeah. The Silverado Trail Boss and Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
Leaders know there's no guide to greatness. When everyone else says something can't be done, they know it only hasn't been done yet. True leaders weather the fiercest storms and look deep within themselves to rise above and help others find their way forward. At Great Southern Bank, we're proud to partner with visionaries that help raise the tide for all of us. And when you're ready to bring your vision to life, we'll be right behind you with award-winning support.
What rhymes with great?
Participate.
Where does greatness start?
Here, in the classroom. On the stage.
In the pool.
On the field.
Where will your greatness take you?
To better grades.
To more friends.
Yeah! Be great.
Participate!
Hey, welcome back, everybody, to Missouri Milestones, the podcast here on the Missouri Sports Network, MissouriSportsNetwork.com, where everyone has a home field advantage. Guy Newcomb alongside Kent Mueller, and we go to Willow Springs High School here as part of our Missouri Milestones, the podcast, and we bring in the athletic director, Robert James, along with his son, Colby, and a cousin, Megan James, also in the room, all members of the Missouri Milestones. Lady and gentlemen, thank you so much for being a part of this.
Well, thank you for having us. We're excited to talk to you.
We'll start with you, Robert, in a little bit. Your dad is also on the list, David James. He graduated in 1963. What kind of fond memories did he share with you about his time playing high school basketball?
You know, he basketball was always, his favorite sport, but he played some baseball and football as well. But, basketball, he really just, talked about, the old days and said that, he wished he had a 3-pointer and he, I ended up scoring more points than him. So he kind of would maybe harass me about if there was a 3-pointer that wouldn't have had 3-point line, that might not have happened. But he had a good career here at Willow Springs and has a lot of good memories with his teammates. He talked about some of his teammates and he had some good ones. He also went on to play at William Jewell for a couple of years. So he's got a basketball background as well and kind of definitely got me involved in it.
Well, see now, Robert, you're not going to have that excuse this year when Colby passes you because you had the 3-point.
That's right. Yeah. Well, I've come to grips with the fact that he's better than I was, and I'm good with that. So that's completely fine with me.
Let's take us back to your high school career. You graduated in 2000. You're the all-time leading scorer of over 2,000 points, 2,014 points. What are some memories that stand out for you in your time of playing?
I had a really good experience playing basketball here. I played all the sports here, anything that I could play, but, I was fortunate to play for some really good coaches. And in today's world, kids don't always get to have the same coach their entire career. And I was able to do that. Played for Coach Brent Colley, Hall of Fame coach. And, he just, we didn't talk a lot about these types of things, scoring points and this and that. It just wasn't something that was really important. We were trying to win games, and my memories are playing in 3 out of 4 years, played for district championship. We were, Coach Colley always really prepared us to be at our best at the end of the year. And, I just remember how special those championship games were, and the crowds, and, it was just a great environment. A lot of good basketball back at that time. That was kind of course, Hartville's always good, but we would see them in districts, and Alton Comets were always good back then. Just had a lot of good battles with some good players against good coaches. And, of course, my teammates, still friends to this day. And, that's what I remember more than anything, definitely way more than, milestones or points or anything like that. So.
Well, Brett Colley's from my hometown, I believe, Mount Vernon.
Mount Vernon. I was thinking, he is.
And I've got some other ties down there. Todd Leach, good friend of mine who graduated from Willow Springs. Todd Stanfield, who I don't think finished there when his dad moved to Hillcrest to coach, but some good connections. Darren Taylor, I think, is from Willow Springs.
Darren is, yep. Still I still talk to Darren. Actually got to talk with Todd a few weeks ago. He came back for one of our home football games. And when I was, when I was a young kid, those were the guys that I looked up to, Todd Leach. And, I wanted to be a ball player like Todd and, Doug Summers and Darren Taylor, guys like that. So, I still, definitely talk to those guys, and they were good ones, good players.
Yeah. Leach, I'm watching ESPN the other night. Well, this is last softball national championships, and he's got 2 daughters, I think, playing at Tennessee, and they interviewed him in the stands.
Yeah. His girls all play D1 softball, and I saw one of his daughters on ESPN coaching a professional softball team not too long ago as well. So he's they got a lot of good connections from Willow.
Robert, if you could go back and just pull out some games that really stand out to you, some games that you'd like to go back and play again. Maybe it's when you scored your 2,000 point. Maybe it's a game, and it could be a game that got away from you. Like, hey, I'd like to play that game again. We should have won that game. And they all had, and most of them were lost. As a former player myself, the games I remember are the ones that got away from me. What are some games that stand out in your memory?
Well, obviously the one that just stings the most. Basketball, you play a lot of games, you don't remember them all, but I do remember the ones that hurt the most. And lost to Hartville in sectionals my senior year, and that was it. We just kind of came to an abrupt end, and we all had dreams of getting to the Final Four, and we felt like we had a good shot. And we were a pretty good team. We had a lot of size, and we beat Hartville a few weeks prior. 15, 20-point win, and we go into sectionals and we lose to them in a close game. Mike Wilson was the coach at Hartville at the time, and I still give him, I still kind of mad at him over that. But no, he was a good coach. Coach Colley had us prepared for a deep run, and it just got away from us. And that one stings a lot to this day, and it does to my teammates as well. That's one I still remember because it was a close one and just seemed like we couldn't get over the hump and ran out of time. So that was tough.
Well, Mike Wilson's been a part of 2 heartbreaking moments there at Willow Springs, since he was in the stands at Holcomb when Darren Taylor hit the shot that didn't count.
That's the famous shot, and I believe Megan's dad was on that team. My uncle Matt was on that team as well, and so if you're from Willow Springs, you know all about the shot, the Darren Taylor shot, and my grandma would talk about it. It was good, and she still would always say it was good. So it should have counted.
Yeah. That's something you can't. I'm president of the Springfield area tip-off club, which is, you get Drury, Evangel, and Missouri State, but you get some of the area high schools, and that's something you can't talk to Darren Taylor about. He will not talk about that even to this day.
Yeah, I can see that.
Very good. Well, Kent, do you have some questions for Robert?
Well, yes. You graduated in the year 2000. Your son in 2025. That's not that long of a time, but that is a quarter of a century. What, from looking back to when you played to when Colby's experience this year, what changes do you see that has occurred over that time? How is it different from your experience to his experience?
Everybody talks about, always better back when I played. I guess that's human nature, but I don't know that that's the case as far as talent was better. It was just different. We didn't have all these opportunities, work, Colby's working out and he's training and he's going to see, people to help him get better at his fundamentals, on a weekly basis. And, when I was growing up, it was just, I'm getting out in the neighborhood on an outdoor court trying to beat my buddies that live down the street. And that's how we decide, that's how we played basketball. And maybe had a little more creativity in that aspect of it. But, the game, we of course, people like Todd Leach and Darren Taylor would say that, Coach Colley was softer on us, but I feel like, we were still a lot of slow it down and move the ball around. Let's get a good shot. And, we can get that 3-pointer anytime we want it. Let's not do it on the first pass, those types of things. And now, Colby gets to play a wide open style. They push the ball and run, and they try to score a lot of points. So I think that's a little different, and a lot of, that's kind of the thing in the area, just in general now. But, just the opportunities these kids have is just so much more. All the travel ball. We spend our summers in hotel rooms playing basketball, and I always tell them I don't want them to burn out on it. I want you to enjoy it. They enjoy it. They love it. They run around these hotels with their buddies, and they do that kind of stuff in the summers. I didn't grow up doing that kind of stuff, and that wasn't, I guess, that long ago, but that just was not a thing back then. So I think the kids are just as talented or more talented probably than we were back then.
That's right. I mean, I played basketball, but a fair amount earlier than you did, and it was just a little bit different back then. The emphasis certainly was more on ball control. Let's try to score on the fourth possession this time,
Yes.
that type of thing, rather than hey, go. And it's all good. I mean, it makes for great basketball. Now, you're kind of in the middle of three generations at least of basketball players in your family. Just some of the dynamics in your family. Obviously, sports. I'm sure there are other sports, but what family dinners wind up talking about basketball? How does that work out?
Yeah, it's been special for me, and Colby has a brother that's a junior, Brady, and a little sister, and Audrey. She's fifth grade. She's starting to get in it. Matter of fact, I'll be coaching her this winter in a league. It's just for me and my family. It is, we're a sports family. We talk about it. We watch it. At one point, we had Memphis Grizzlies season tickets, and we're just driving to ball games all the time, and it's just what we enjoy. And the boys and I text each other stuff about basketball, and and it's just kind of how we bond. We definitely do other things, and we're interested in other sports as well. But it's pretty special to us. And growing up, it was to me too. I wanted to be like those guys I looked up to. So I just enjoyed playing the game. I never really worried about anything other than I just wanted to go play the game. So for me, that's how I got, a little bit of success at it. It was just the joy playing. I just like playing the game. To me, it's the funnest, thing that I could do as a kid. Sure wasn't going to sit in the house. So.
Very good. All right. Well, Megan, who's your cousin, graduated in 07, also over 1,000 points. Megan, hey, thanks so much for being part of the show this morning.
Thanks for having us.
Megan, tell us a little bit about your memories going back. You graduated in 07, so relatively recent. You haven't got to your 20-year reunion yet.
Yeah.
Tell us about what memories you have growing up there in Willow Springs playing basketball.
Well, I'm kind of like Robert. We just played outside all the time. I remember being little, and he was in high school, and he would come to our house and play. I have a sister who's 2 years younger than me, and she played basketball. She probably would have also hit 1,000 points had she not blown out her ACL and lost half of her junior year. But so most of my basketball memories revolve around our family. My sister and I played basketball nonstop when we were little. We had a basketball court outside. And then getting to play in high school with her was very special to me. We got 2 years to play together. And so that's a huge memory for me. Also, Robert was one of our coaches my senior year, Lindsay's sophomore year. And that was really fun to be able to have that. But, basketball, like Robert said, it was my favorite thing to do. It was all I could think about. That's what I wanted to do in all my spare time. I'm a very competitive person. And so just the competition, I just love the game. I still do.
Tell us a little bit about your memories, games that you really enjoyed or you'd like to go back and play again. And it could be maybe a rivalry game. And then talk a little bit also about some of your rivals.
So I remember one game specifically early in my senior year, and I think we were playing Gainesville, and it went into overtime. But that game was really enjoyable because I played predominantly inside. My sister was more of a guard. She's a good, 3-point shooter, and they just really struggled to guard us inside and outside. It went into overtime, and she and I, combined for several points that night. And so that was a fun game. I also remember the last game we played my senior year in the district tournament, and just those last few minutes of the game, realizing that it was the last time I played basketball. And that's kind of a heartbreaking feeling. I played volleyball also, and so that's what I did in college. So just knowing that was the last basketball game I was going to play, that I think will always be in my memory, and I'll remember that feeling. And then what did you?
Some of the rivals, who were your rivalries? Maybe individuals or teams that you look forward to playing.
Yeah. So Mountain Grove, that was always a big one. We always had a big rivalry with West Plains when I was growing up. And then Houston had strong post players. And so that was always a big game, a big matchup that I enjoyed.
So what are you doing now to kind of stay around the game? Do you still attend games? Obviously, you've got relatives playing and coaching. What are you doing now to kind of stay around it?
Well, so when I'm a teacher. When I first started teaching, I coached basketball. I started in Monette before I moved back home. But I coached basketball for a while, and I have coached other sports as well. My husband and I have 2 little boys who I hope will be basketball players. They're 1 and 3. So I'm not coaching right now because they take a lot of my time. But, of course, we love to come and watch Colby and Brady play and, just love the game. Always have.
Very good. Kent, do you have any questions for Megan?
Well, yeah, you say you're not coaching now, but I have a hunch that your 2 sons already have a basketball.
They do.
So I think you're coaching now, and that's part of the development. You said you played on the primarily on the inside. What was your preference, man or zone?
Ooh, definitely man. And on offense, I liked to play with my back to the basket. Feed the post, catch the ball, score. Excellent.
And you had mentioned rivals. What about? Do you have memories of any specific players that you would come up against?
Not off the top of my head. I mean, I remember that. I don't honestly remember their names.
So that's. But I think that's great. The girls' game has, I think, completely caught up with the boys' game over the years. What changes have you seen going back to when you were watching before you played, when you played, and then on into today?
Well, and I agree with you. I feel like girls have become more athletic. Obviously, girls' sports don't have the long history that men's sports do, but I think that the skill and the athletic talent that girls have is just as much as boys. And, Robert was mentioning how the boys play a faster pace, like a run and gun game. And, while girls may not jump as high or run as fast, the skill that they have to be able to shoot the ball and guard is just as good, maybe even more so than the boys. And, I definitely think that girls' sports are just as much fun to watch.
I agree with that completely.
Very good. Now we'll go to the current high school athlete, Colby James, and I'm not exactly sure where your points are right now, but I know you're approaching 2,000. Colby, thanks for being part of the show today.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Colby, tell us a little bit about your game and going back maybe even to your freshman year, what your role was initially on the team and how that's changed. What's your role right now?
My freshman year, I was still probably our main scorer. I led the offense as a freshman, and up to now, it's pretty much the same. Try to score and just really get us in our offense and be a leader.
What was it like that first time as a freshman stepping out on the court in a varsity game? What were the nerves like?
I don't think I was nervous. I I don't think I really knew what to expect. I think I had a good game though. It was my first game, and yeah, I don't know, it was fun.
Probably more nervous right now doing an interview than you were then.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, he's took enough verbal abuse from his dad over the years. A ball game's not too concerning to him.
Kobe, tell us a little bit about your rivals, and they're current for you. I mean, what teams or schools do you look forward to playing, and maybe individuals that you've kind of grown up, and they could be friendly rivals. You just enjoy playing against them because they're talented as well. Talk about some of those teams and those individual players.
Some of our rivals, probably Mountain Grove, Thayer, Mountain View. Those are teams that we've always kind of competed hard against. Yeah, a lot of those teams like that. A lot of SCA teams.
If you could get in a time machine right now today and go back to that Kobe James who was in the 8th grade and give yourself some advice based on what you know now as a senior, what advice would you go back and give yourself? Would it be maybe get in the weight room more, or classroom? What advice would you go back and give that 8th grader?
Yeah, I would say definitely weight room more, because as a freshman, I wasn't as strong as I was now. Yeah, and probably get more focus in the classroom too. As a freshman, I wasn't doing too good, but I'm doing better now. So
yeah, he got called in my office a little bit as a freshman, but he's better now.
Yeah.
Very good, very good. Now you got the season in front of you. What are some team goals and maybe individual goals that you have going into this 25-26 season?
Some team goals. I think we should have a good year. I think we should at least compete to be number 1 in SCA and win districts. Yeah, so I think we should have a really good season. And individually, I just want to do what I can to help the team and lead the team and just keep winning games.
How many points shy of your dad are you?
What?
How many points shy of the record are you?
Oh, I'm not too sure. I think I'm around like 1,500, so probably about 500.
Oh, that's a tough task. That's going to be something to get to.
I'm not sure exactly what he's at either, but I might try to get him sick or something a time or two and send him out. But no, I think we're worried about having a good season and winning games. But if it happens, I'm very happy for him for sure.
Kobe, have you thought about what you're going to be doing next year?
Yeah, I'll play basketball at C of O, College of the Ozarks.
Very cool. And what led to that decision?
I really like the coach and all the people there. It's a very pretty campus, and my dad actually played there, and I think it's a very nice place to go to college.
Yeah, I had some nephews played baseball there at College of the Ozarks, so a great university there as well. Kent, you got the questions for Kobe?
Well, yes, Colby. It's true that we shouldn't focus too much on numbers, but I'll just tell you that a personal goal. It's okay to have one that's past dad. I mean, that's as a father myself, that's much appreciated when a son wants to do that. I think that's good. We've talked a lot about changes from the past to today in the game. What do you expect to be changes in your life and how you approach basketball going forward now that you're going to be going to the next level?
I think going to the next level, I think it'll be a lot more physical and a lot more faster pace, of course. So I think going to the next level, I'm going to have to really adjust and get to their pace of play.
Good.
Yeah, no doubt. It's going to be faster and more physical.
Well, I certainly also want to mention Robert's dad, David James, is a 1963 graduate with over 1,000 points who we were hoping could get here, but 1963 graduates, we've had one of them on. That guy graduated in 1963 from CBC High School, who was the first one to go over, Jimmy Gummersbach, and that was one of our first interviews. But again, congratulations on being part of Missouri Milestones, the podcast, and the Milestones. There's no secret handshakes. There's no there's no dues, no secret knocks on the door. You guys have already made it. That list, you'll be on that list forever. But we certainly appreciate your time here. And just a couple questions. One for Kobe. Kobe, what's your least favorite chore to do at home?
Least favorite chore? Probably if I have to unload the dishwasher or something like that.
All right.
Yeah, he avoids that. That's for sure.
All right. Megan, do you have a least favorite chore?
Oh, probably right now changing diapers.
That is a first.
Yeah.
We did have two different ladies, and they were high school students who we interviewed back to back, and their least favorite chore was picking up dog doo-doo out of the backyard. And I was like, okay, well, it's so similar. But Mr. James, do you have a least favorite?
Well, probably making the bed. That's the one I get complained about the most. Just gonna get back in it later. I don't see the point made, but making the bed is a annoyance for my wife, I would say.
Yeah. Well, my father, we always had to make our bed. He was military, and you had to have your feet under the breakfast table at 7 a.m. and your bed had to be made. And that was just kind of a rule in our house. First thing you do when you get up in the morning, you thank God for waking you up, and then you make your bed.
That's right.
Well, I have one final question. Is for all of you, and I'm a mandated reporter for the Missouri State Highway Patrol. Do you always wear your seatbelts?
Yes.
I do, and he better.
I do.
Very good. Well, that started in 2008 with the Be Safe, Be Smart, Be Here Tomorrow campaign that we launched. It was actually at Lebanon High School because the high school football coach at Lebanon, Will Christian, I had a couple kids get in my car, and I was just driving a couple of blocks, and they both put their seatbelts on immediately. And I said, I know you're getting in with somebody you really don't know. Why you put your seatbelts on? I mean, I'm glad you did.
Yeah.
But where's that come from? They said, if Coach Christian sees us anywhere in town and we don't have our seatbelt on, our name goes up on the board and we have to run reminders. And that has stuck with me for 20 years.
That's great. That's really good. I know our coaches do things like that as well. We're really, we worry about our kids for sure. So that's great.
Well, I believe it was Willow Springs last year on the girls basketball team that did a little skit. And I don't know if you've seen that, where they did a skit, and we've been airing it. We aired it for about 6 weeks, but I'm going to see if they'll do it again. I don't know if they're all still in high school. But,
I remember that. Yeah, that was neat. Yeah.
So, well, anyway, lady and gentlemen, thank you so much for being part of Missouri Milestones, the podcast, and congratulations. And Kobe, good luck this year. And hey, let us know when you get to 2000, and then let us know when you get to 2015, because we'll get you back on as a Chevy Dealers Athlete of the Week. So, but we appreciate it. You've been watching Missouri Milestones, the podcast here on the Missouri Sports Network, MissouriSportsNetwork.com, where everyone has a home field advantage. And as always, presented by Liona, Labor's Local 663, building Missouri, and reminding us, hey, drive safely in those work zones. Those folks want to go home to their families as well. Also presented by the Bank of Billings, established 1889, the oldest bank in Christian County. And as always, the Missouri State Highway Patrol reminds us to take that 3 seconds and buckle up. It's 3 seconds that could save your life. Be safe, be smart, and be here tomorrow.